I created G-plans out of nutrition frustration. One day during nutrition studies at Duke University, we came across a revelation. We discovered that everyone has a completely unique metabolic structure and type. Eating a generic diet program will not get you the results you want, and you will continue on a path of yo-yo dieting forever. Ultimately, sustainable food programs are built within your own specific metabolic template.
I eat what Dr. G tells me to eat for my metabolic type. I don't call this program a diet because I eat more than on other programs.
Hello, welcome to another nutrition masterclass. Hope you're having a great Wednesday, a great week so far, and I'm so glad you've joined me today. We have a great topic today, something that I know all of us deal with at some time, and that is just being busy, needing to find some ways you can save some time so that you can still stay on track with your meal plan and your healthy eating goals. So we're going to discuss that today, how you can do that. And good to see you already. I see a few people checking in. Janine, it's great to see you back. Sorry to hear you're having some pain with your feet. I hope that gets better soon. And then Anita here, I see you mentioned some things you struggled with is being overwhelmed with planning meals out and sticking to them and trying to track macronutrients when planning meals. Great things. We will, of course, today we're going to dive in, go into some more further tips and ways that you can save time and stay on track. So stay tuned here shortly. And then as a reminder, please feel free throughout our presentation today, go ahead and add any questions, anything that might come up in our chat box. And then at the end of the presentation, I'd love to take those questions and open up a little conversation that way. So we'll go ahead and dive right in here in just a minute. All right. Okay. All right, so today's topic is time-saving nutrition tips. All right. Okay, so here's our table of contents today. This is what we'll be covering. First of all, we're going to discuss, of course, the importance of planning ahead. Secondly, we're going to talk about keeping it simple. We're going to discuss after that, of course, the importance of establishing a consistent routine, building those habits. Then I want to hear from you at that point. I'm going to ask a little more about what helps you individually when you're short on time. And then we're going to wrap it up, talk a little more about, of course, some great tools that you have, you can utilize today, and that's grocery and or meal prep services. Great way to cut back on time. And then we'll close out today, of course, with our tip of the week. And lastly, today's special promotion. All right. Okay, and so just a reminder, of course, as always, please feel free, go ahead and send me an email if you have something a little more personal you'd like to reach out to me rather than adding in the chat box. Go ahead and send me an email. My email is there on the screen, you see, and then we'll also add that email in the chat box for you today as well. All right, so first of all, like I said, of course, when we're busy, so essential to plan ahead. Really, in order to stay on track with your goals, life is going to get busy sometimes, so planning ahead is so essential. Taking time to plan for your day ahead, maybe your week ahead, by prepping some meals, packing your lunch, or maybe batch cooking ingredients. It does take a bit of time, but it's going to ensure that you can stay on track with your plan and will make things much simpler if you have a very busy week ahead. So, of course, if we're not planning ahead, when we do have a little bit of time to carve out to prep and plan, then when the week gets busy, we're gonna find ourselves just kind of grabbing, not thinking through things, and you'll find that you might kind of fall off track with your plan. So carve out that time, find what works for you. Again, that could look so different, but set aside that time for you to plan ahead and make sure you have a good plan in place for your day or your week. Next, utilize a grocery list or a meal planning app, like G Plans as well, with a grocery list feature before you head to the store. This will help you quickly grab the ingredients that you need for your meal plan. If you are a G Plans member, like I mentioned, this grocery list is available to you in the app. So one thing you can do if you're following your plan, of course, you can click on that grocery list. That's right available to you. Now, keep in mind, I do have some people too that actually like to kind of go through their week of their meal plan, make some swaps to their recipes, kind of adjust things to how they'd like it. They do that maybe on the weekend. So then your grocery list, of course, is updated. It's good to go, and you know exactly what you need. If your work week is crazy, cook over the weekend and store pre-portioned meals in the fridge or the freezer. This is also a real time and money saver as well. Just thaw and reheat makes it super easy. This is also an option, of course, aside from just prepping and freezing meals on a weekend. You can do that pretty far ahead of time. So maybe even taking time, say once a month or so, go ahead and prep out some meals just to have on hand in the freezer, even as a backup option. And next up, cut up your fruits and vegetables. Keep them handy, already stored and cut in the fridge, or try pre-packed individual servings for when you're on the go as well. That will make it so you do have those healthy snacks and meal ingredients as well, that little prep's already taken out for you. And when you do that, it also makes you much more likely to reach for those healthier options as well. Next up is keep it simple. So when we're busy, so important to keep things simple, stick with what works, don't overcomplicate things. So maybe try batch cooking. Batch cooking is when you prep just a few basic ingredients rather than the entire meal together. That way you can have simple ingredients on hand and ready to go for you during your week. Example might be having some pre-cooked chicken, pre-cooked vegetables in your fridge. They can be used many different ways throughout the week. So you can use those in many different recipes, and it's going to really cut down on your preparation time. Next up, definitely repeat meals throughout the week if you're fine with that as well. If you use the G Plans app, you can easily double or triple a recipe and make enough to last you a few days. So that's a great way to do it. Go ahead and maybe repeat your lunches throughout the week. Keep it super simple, and like I mentioned, you can easily do that. Just kind of increase those portions for that meal in the G Plans app, and it's going to help you to do that. Next up, also opt for some snacks that either, like I mentioned, you've maybe prepared, you've cut and washed them ahead of time, or other snack options that don't really require any prep work. Things like fruits, like a banana, nuts, and or protein bars. These are all easy options to pack and carry with you. So don't overcomplicate it. Stick to some super easy grab and go snacks. And we talk about this in a few of our presentations. This is not only a way to save money, but it's also a great way to cut back on preparation time as well. Go ahead and choose frozen produce instead of fresh. That makes it so, of course, they're already cut, they're already washed, they're ready to be used in a meal, and it can also help to even, of course, eliminate some food waste as well. Lastly, feel free, go ahead and utilize spices to add new flavor to simple meals. So for example, with the chicken and vegetables that maybe you batch cooked for the week, go ahead, add some variety to that. Use different seasonings in various recipes throughout the week, different low-calorie condiments, and that is an excellent way to give you some variety, some new flavor without making things too complicated. Okay, so next is establishing a routine. This is so important because especially if you find that you're pretty busy, you need that consistent routine as best you can have it to ensure that you can be on track throughout your busier weeks. So focus on building those healthy habits you can stick with. When you're short on time, it is key to focus on building healthy habits that work with your schedule. Find what works with you and stick with it. This might look like setting aside time each weekend for meal prep or packing your lunch every weekend. So again, find that time, what kind of works best for your schedule. Kind of carve that out as maybe some of your preparation, your grocery shopping time, and try to stick with that as best you can to build that into your routine. Also, start slowly. You can always build from there. So as you get started, take things slowly at first as you ease into your new routine. You might maybe start prepping a few meals for your week rather than everything at once. And you could also utilize a meal prep service as you get started to make things a little easier. As you grow more and more comfortable with your weekly routine, you can begin to prep more and more ahead of time and adjust your schedule according to what works for you. So get started, start small. Say, maybe I'm going to prep out all my lunches for this week. And then again, too, maybe utilize a meal prep service or some other ways that can cut you back on time as you get going with your prep. Okay, so I'd love if you could share with me, tell me a little bit about what helps you specifically when you're short on time. Do you have any go-tos, any specific tips that really work for you? I would love if you could share with me in the chat box there. I'd love to share some of your own tips at the end of this presentation today as well. Okay, so last thing, and this is so big though, today there's so many great meal prep and grocery delivery services, and it can really make your life so much easier and really can ensure that you will be able to stick to your plan. So take advantage of them. Super easy way to cut back on your prep time. If you do use the G-Plans app, you can easily export your grocery list to a meal delivery service that will take care of the shopping for you. So super easy way to do that. Meal delivery services are definitely another amazing tool. You can choose to use pre-prepared meals on a regular basis. Maybe that works for you the best. Or you might even just find it helpful to have a few meal preps on hand as a backup option. So kind of have those in the freezer, something that you can grab and go when you need it. If you're new to meal prep as well, that's a great way to get started. Go ahead and supplement your meal prep with some already prepared meals to make things a little easier and then build on from there. Okay, and so my tip of the week, kind of based on what we're talking about today, is do not skip meals. So I know a lot of the times we may think, you're so busy, it's better to skip that meal than to eat something that maybe's not on track with my plan. That is not the case. Skipping meals, can definitely slow down your progress. It can lead to really slowing down your metabolism and skipping meals can cause you, of course, to eat a little more later in the day when you find you're very hungry. So always ensure you do have some of those quick options on hand with you. And rather than skipping that meal, go ahead and have something like fruit and nuts, a protein bar. Have something at that time that you can still fit in. That's going to help keep you on track with your plan better than skipping that meal entirely. So always have some quick options with you as best you can, and try as much as you can to prevent from skipping meals. All right, and so last thing today is our special promotion. We have a really amazing promotion going on right now. So we do have a new referral program. So right now, for every referral you send, this link, by the way, the referral link, you'll find that in your app. And after today's call, we're going to send you a little more information as well in your email. But for each person that signs up referred by you, you will receive $40 cash. And we have some extra bonuses going on right now as well. For the month of March, you will receive an extra $100 cash for every 3 people that you refer. And so that will actually be with the total of the $40 for each 3, the extra $100, that's $220 altogether. Well, we will also be looking for a top referrer of the month, and they will be eligible for that $250 bonus. So some really, really good things going on there. Do go ahead and check out your email, and you will also find more information about referrals in the G Plans app as well. So that does bring me to the end of our presentation for today. So if you have any other questions, please feel free, go ahead and add the chat box right now. All right. Okay. All right, so I see already right here, I see a question, why use cups and teaspoons as a measurement? It's just so awkward to keep flipping back and forth with converting measurements. Totally get that. I know sometimes it can be a little overwhelming with focusing on measuring, weighing your portions, but again, it's so key, so important to ensuring you're consuming the right amount, the right balance, and you're sticking to your plan as closely as possible. So I do encourage too on this topic, if you're kind of getting started with your meal plan, it's always a great idea to utilize a food scale. So eventually maybe move on to a cup, to other ways to measure, but starting with a food scale can help a lot, even just initially, because over time, it's going to help you to also be able to kind of visualize portion sizes a little better as well. So that's definitely a great tool to look at. Do hope this presentation was helpful today, again, with some time-saving tips. So essential, of course, at the end of the day, to find a little bit of time when you can plan ahead, or maybe if your schedule's super crazy, just to go ahead and ensure that you have these groceries sent to you, or you have your meal deliveries sent to you as well. So that's going to be so essential, of course, to make sure you're on track and you're not making last minute decisions that will kind of throw you off track with your progress. So hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'm so glad you joined me today for another nutrition masterclass. Do definitely check out our referral program. Again, you will find more information on this in your email today. So go ahead and check that out, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you next week for another nutrition masterclass.